My name is Ashima Ananda, and I have written a book. It is called Charging Your Chakras, a practical guide to chakra exploration. And it is meant to be a guide. And I wrote this book. Why I wrote it, you can check out my website, ashimaananda.com. It's a guide as to how we might put these spinning vortices of energy to work for ourselves in our own lives. Everybody has them, everybody can use them, and all this information is available to us at any time. Inside the book is this really cool little sheet that it's the cover actually, that talks about all the different chakras, gives you these little tips, little insights. The book is predicated on practicalities, practices, and proof. And that means that there are some practicalities. What do the chakras do in our lives, in our bodies? What do they mean? Gives you opportunities to memorize them all, which was always something I was not great at. And part of the reason why I wrote the book was because I wanted to really ground into some of these things, dive into some of these things, and have them as a really big part of my life. Anyway, in these 5-minute videos, and I did forget to set my timer. There we go, I've set my timer. In these 5-minute videos, we will talk about the practicalities, the practices, and the proof. And recently, we've been discussing the practices. And I've been having it's been a little bit of time since I've done one of these. And in that time, I have not been doing nothing. I have definitely been practicing. And one of the things that has come up for me was gathering the data. One of the aspects that we've talked about before about practicing with the chakras is the data, gathering the data, why it's important, what role it plays in our path forward in our lives, and how the data can move the practice forward, which I thought was really interesting. And it's one of the things that I've been really diving deeply into. How can my practices move me forward? Is it this stagnant thing where, and I don't mean stagnant in a negative way. I mean, is it just a thing where it stays the same all the time? And part of me wants to say, well, yeah, the chakras are everlasting. They are something that we have access to. They don't change. But the one element in the equation that does change is us. And I think that's where the data really comes into play, because the data allows for the change. So it doesn't really matter if the chakras change. What matters is that our practices change along with us. Now, if you're a person who says, well, gee, I just don't think I changed that much, check that out. You probably do change, you just may not be aware of it, which is another wonderful gift that the chakras give to us. And that is, we can come to a greater understanding of ourselves and have a stronger self-awareness. So what I wanted to talk about today was the data. I'm going to refer to my notes. So what I came up with so far, and this is kind of a large one, so I may do sort of a 5-minute series on this. Data allows us to inform the next experience. Hey, that might have been a Freudian slip. To inform the next experiment. But gee, it is kind of informing the next experience, isn't it? Ooh, that's interesting. We'll dive into that later once I have time to assimilate that and think about it and find out what I want to say about that, because that seems interesting. But let's do what I've got on my notepad. Data allows us to inform the next experiment. It allows us to establish direction, which is nebulous, but we can make it more solid. And it allows us to build something. And I think that's my favorite part of this, is that the chakras allow us to build something. So when you start a practice, and even when you jump around from practice to practice, that doesn't matter. The chakras sort of act as our foundation. It's what we can come back to. It's what is available to us 24/7, 365. You can come back to the chakras, you can run that energy, you can think about them, you can give them your own personal energy, it's always there. So even if our practices have a tendency to shift and change and grow with us, well, the chakras remain the same. It's really us. We change. And when we change, we maybe see something different, we experience something differently, we can practice differently and get us on the path we want to be on. Does that make sense? It does to me. It really makes sense to me. I'm actually kind of excited about this. So let me say that one more time. Data allows us to inform the next experiment, establish a direction, and build something. I want to kind of go with build something right now because that's really what's up for me. For myriad reasons, I did not build much in my life that is tangible. I just didn't. I just didn't. I don't feel like I did. And then I started practicing with the chakras. And very recently, I was like, wait a minute, I have absolutely built something. Well, that is our 5 minutes. It goes by so fast. So when we pick up with the next video, I'll talk a little bit more about the data, the 3 items we discussed, and then also building something. Thank you for joining me for this. Remember, you can get Charging Your Chakras, a practical guide to Chakra Exploration on my website, ashimaananda.com. There's also some tools there, some kind of fun things you can buy too, that I make them all, and they're there to really support your practice. So give it a shot, ashimaananda.com. Sending positive energy out to all beings everywhere. Namaste. The light in me recognizes, honors, and loves the light